Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening at Parent University. Appreciate you taking the time to uh, join us to learn some great information. My name, well, before I begin, let us just start with this. With Parent University, this is the place. These are the sessions where we're going to connect, learn, grow, and succeed. My name is Miguel Benitez, and I am the RISD Family Engagement Director. I am grateful for the opportunity to work with you. We are very excited about our journey to elevate family engagement with an end goal of increasing student achievement across the district. Your meaningful engagement will make a significant impact in the lives of our children. Um, I want to introduce to you our team of interpreters for today. We have Mrs. Teresa Ordóñez, we have Alejandra Phillips, and Mayra Duran. To access the language option, use your mouse and hover at the bottom of your screen. A menu will open. Please find the globe and hover over it and click on it. When you see the language of your choice, click on it and you should be able to hear the presentation in Spanish. If you're on your mobile, just simply tap the screen. Antes de empezar la presentación, quiero presentarles a nuestros equipos de traductores de hoy, Teresa Ordóñez, Mayra Durán y Alejandra Phillips. También incluido está Desiree Cantu. So we have one more interpreter that's assisting us today. Her name is Desiree Cantu. So, para abrir la opción de idioma, use su mouse y colóquelo sobre la página inferior de la pantalla. El menú se abrirá. Por favor, busque el globo y coloque el mouse sobre él y haga clic. Si usted, cuando vea la idioma, nomás hágale clic ahí y va a poder oír la presentación en español. Si tiene un móvil, lo puede, nomás toque la pantalla. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and start the presentation. Thank you for your patience. We're just trying to get through a little bit of some technical difficulties, but I'm going to go ahead and open up and share my screen with you right now. And today's session I'm presenting on will be sustaining and strengthening home-to-school connections. Today's objectives, we're going to learn the benefits of sustaining and strengthening home-to-school connections. We're going to learn 10 strategies to sustain and strengthen home-to-school connections, and then we're going to learn 10 tips to reinforce family and school partnerships. The benefits are, we've got 5, and so supporting student success starts with a shared agreement among families, schools, when they work together, and it involves committed actions to make it happen. Engaged parents are a key factor in helping students and schools succeed. With families and schools working together as partners, student achievement is enhanced and children are better prepared to do well in school. It's the students who benefits the most from communication between home and school, resulting in numerous positive advantages. So let's look at those. The first one is we have improved academic achievement. The second, we have a more positive attitude toward learning. We have a feeling of empowerment and confidence. We have enhanced relationships with parents, peers, and teachers. And the last benefit is regular class attendance, which is critical when we are asking our children to come and do work, be prepared. We need them to be ready to learn. We need them to be on time and focused. So why what you do at home is so important at school? A positive relationship A positive relationship with your child is more important to their school career than your constant presence in the classroom. Because children identify strongly with you, your attitudes, values, and innermost feelings are contagious. They become embedded in your child's mind at the deepest levels. Communication between home and school is important not just for teachers and parents, but also for the student. Both parents and teachers can work together to provide a support system that helps children thrive and succeed in school. Most educators are on the same page are on the same page by recognizing that family participation in schooling can make a huge difference in a student who feels confident and enjoys learning. That's especially true if they struggle with both the academic and social aspects of schooling. So when parents and teachers regularly share information about a child and what's happening in the classroom, it supports the learning process from all sides, setting up students for success. Building a relationship through effective and open communication is the core of a successful educational experience for children. Now, here are 10 strategies that parents can use to build relationships that benefit and support children through the learning process. So the first one you see up there is initiate first contact. As soon as you know who your teacher is, initiate contact with a teacher. This can be as simple as sending an introductory email, scheduling an appointment, or going to a meet and greet. In any case, it gives you an early opportunity to introduce yourself and open the lines of communication. Knowing you can talk to your child's teacher right from the start gives you a great start to be involved in the learning process. So how can we do this? So we have some great tools available. For example, we have Focus. Focus is where we can access grades, we can access assignments, and we can access attendance, just to name a few things. But it's a wonderful tool that all parents need to be utilizing to keep track of our children's academic progress and attendance, behavior, etc. So we can also go into the school websites. We can actually visit our district website to go into the school website. And I'm going to navigate that here in just a second, where we can actually go look for the teacher to look and email that teacher and begin that initial contact. Focus also gives us the ability to do that as well, where there's the class schedule. You'll be able to see where the teacher is and actually click on that teacher's name and email that person. So it's a wonderful tool. But if we let me go into the RISD website and quickly navigate through that. I'm gonna help you. Let me see. Excuse me. I'm gonna just go to the menu. We're just gonna go to the irsd.org, which will take us right to the website. So if you go to www.risd.org, you'll be able to jump in and look at our website. To access the teachers or look for staff and begin those connections, you can simply go into the schools tab. Look for, let's just use Forest Meadow Junior High at this, look for your child's school, and this will open up. You can go into the Our School tab, and what you'll find is a menu, and this menu will have, the staff directory. And when you open up your staff directory, you can actually look for that teacher's name and email them with any questions that you have. So it's a wonderful way to begin and initiate this contact. So the second strategy that I want to share with you is having consistent communication. In order to be effective, communication needs to be consistent and frequent. So we have 9-week grading periods. Let's work at maybe getting maybe 3 or 4 weekly email check-ins, ask questions, engage with the teacher, ask about their particular communication tool. Teachers have, they might have their own communication tool that they use to stay connected with students and their families. So make sure to ask those questions. But again, this is a really important, is to make sure that we are communicating, staying connected, you know, on a frequent basis with our teachers. Parents, we want, you know, we want ongoing feedback from teachers about how their child is, you know, how they're doing when it comes to both learning and their behavior and attitudes. Consistent feedback is also beneficial for teachers. So as you're talking to them, you know, you're also providing information to help in the learning process. So when you guys come together, y'all can both discuss the successes of a student as well as any areas of concern. This consistent communication shows students that their education is part of a greater whole and takes place both at school and at home. The third tip that we have for you, and I'm going to go back to our, excuse me, our web page here, just so that you can see these strategies. The third one is a parent-teacher conference. Third strategy to sustain and strengthen home-to-school connections. Do not ever underestimate the usefulness of parent-teacher conferences. This is a great opportunity for parents and teachers to sit down face-to-face or virtually and openly discuss how and what a child is doing in school. It's a good time for parents to talk about anything that's happening at home and could impact the behavior and learning of their child in the classroom. So these parent-teacher conferences, you know, we need to initiate. If you start to see some type of decline in grade or progress or behavior, we really need to work to connect with the teacher so that we can have these conversations, so that we can catch some of these things early on, so they don't, we don't want to work, we don't want to wait till the end of a grading period to try to, you know, provide some type of, you know, help. I mean, we need to catch these things early. The fourth type of strategy that I want to share with you is the parent-teacher student conference. And this is similar to a parent-teacher conference, but it includes the student in the meeting. And it's a great way to give them more responsibility for their own learning and education. Both parents and teachers can encourage children to talk openly about questions or concerns that they may have. During these conferences, many students respond well to any feedback their teacher has about their grades or behavior. They feel supported both by their parent and their teacher, which can lead to better school performance. The fifth strategy I want to share with you is classroom and district newsletters. Excellent way to sustain and strengthen home-to-school connections. The traditional newsletter is still, like I said, a great way to communicate what's happening at school. Newsletters are often emailed or printed and sent home with each student. The letters can include information about classroom events, upcoming meetings, and what the class is currently learning. We have a very, we have an award-winning electronic community newsletter that also helps keep our families connected to what's going on district-wide. It is called our RISD Schools Times. And so we're going to provide a link to that, and we want you to register for that. It's complete and it's free for you guys. So we want you to be able to use this tool. It's a wonderful resource, I believe, to help you stay connected. RISD School Times provides RISD students news, events, schedules, and information in a quick and efficient format. Again, that's delivered right into your inbox. The sixth strategy that I want to share with you is social media. So most parents and teachers are use technology to communicate in their daily lives. Using social media for communication makes it simple for everyone to stay on the same page. Set up one or multiple social media accounts for parents to follow, much like, and we have those, much like the newsletter. Social media allows for effective and quick communication so both parents and teachers stay updated on what's happening. Encouraging students to join in builds an even stronger channel of communication that can bridge the gap between what's happening at school and at home. Social media platforms to use include Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And so we're going to share these links, our district links, with you so that you can use them. And I want to talk to you about our YouTube link. These are weekly videos that Dr. Stone provides our families so that it'll keep you updated on the COVID response. So it's a wonderful, wonderful information video that is there that you can access and that you can use and see over and over if there's ever a question as to what updates we have for you. And that's found there at the in the web page. So as most of you probably saw, you saw Dr. Stone, and the video was right there for us to access. The seventh strategy that I want to share with you is school and district website. So we talked a little bit about it. We navigated into a little bit of the district and into the school website here in a little bit, just a while ago. So this allows for quick communication between teachers and parents. And so we know that busy parents, there's a lot going on. So, but this is a quick way to access what's going on district-wide and at our campuses. So building connections really is going to take a little bit of time navigating these systems. So just take some time and navigate and see what's out there and see how all these resource services activities can help you stay connected. So on these pages, what we find, and I'm just going to list some things, are announcements again about events, both in and out of the classroom. We have current assignments that are being worked on, and so Focus really is going to be one of those tools that is going to give you access to attendance, to assignments, and to grades. So we want you to register for Focus, and we're going to provide some information here in a little bit on how you can get that accomplished to make sure that you are connecting. The eighth strategy that I have to share with you are the mobile phone apps and other apps. There's an app for everything, including parent-teacher communication. Specific apps give parents and teachers an easier, better means for frequent communication. Teachers can send reminders and messages to the entire class, to parents, or to specific individuals. I want you to know that we have an RISD app, and so we want you to download that and use it. And so here in a little bit, I'm going to show you where that app is. The ninth strategy that I want to share with you is to be sure you have updated contact information, including a current email address in Focus. So everything shifts a little bit to Focus because this is one of our main communication tools for attendance, grades, and assignments. So the 10th that kind of puts everything together, that brings everything together, is to make sure that you be your child's advocate for educational success. All these things tie together and ensure student success. So as we move forward, I want to explain or share with you some tips to reinforce family and school partnerships. Number one is to set up a daily family routine, including healthy eating and sleeping habits. We want to provide a place and a time at home for homework, at home to do homework. The third tip is to check on assignment, homework, and projects. The fourth tip is to talk each day with your child about his or her activities. The fifth is to promote literacy by reading to your child and by reading yourself. We want to model that. We want to model reading. The sixth is to limit and monitor TV watching, gaming, social media, and computer time. The seventh tip to reinforce family and school partnerships is to express high expectations and standard for your child's learning. This is really important because our teachers do a great job of encouraging and having high expectations. Our parents, our families need to do the same. We need to have high expectations and really encourage our children and support them in the learning process. So if they make a B, let's encourage them to make a B plus. Just encourage to raise that bar. The eighth tip is to attend parent-teacher conferences, open houses, and back-to-school events. Now I know that right now we're still moving to maybe going back to a face-to-face environment, but and things are a little bit different, but join those virtual events to make those connections. And when we have the opportunities and these activities come available, we need to do our very best to be there and support and continue building connections, and it also builds relationship. The ninth tip is to participate in decisions that affect your child's education. So at the school, we've got educational improvement plans, we have ARDs, we have all these plans for our students. Secondary level, we have our graduation plans and things of that nature. We need to be part of those things, and we need to be asking questions and helping guide our children, our students in that process, and really helping them and being familiar with what they're doing and getting the help that they need as they work through these. So this is an important tip. Tip number 10 is to tap into community resources with visits to libraries, to museums, to zoos, to theaters, and encourage participation in after-school clubs, sports, and other art activities, extracurricular activities. This is another really important part of being, of reinforcing family and school partnerships. So the next thing that I want to talk about is staying connected with preteens and teens. Now, the reason I bring this up is because with preteens and teens, staying connected with student learning remains critical. Yet studies show that family engagement in school drops as students move from elementary to middle and high school. So one of the things as parents, what we need to understand is a little bit about what happens in adolescent development. So there are three stages in adolescent development. In ages 12 to 14, we have that's early adolescent. We have middle adolescence, ages 15 to 16, and then we have late adolescence, which is ages 17 to 19. What we need to know about all three is that in these adolescent stage, they all are moving. They're all moving toward independence. And each one, there's a little characteristic, and you may see this is generalizing. Not all you may not see this with all children, but it's pretty consistent among the group that between the 12 and 14-year-olds, we see less attention shown to parents with occasional rudeness. So some of us think, well, that maybe they just don't want us around. Maybe they just don't want, they just don't love me anymore. But that's not the case. It's just they're progressing through this development stage. With middle adolescent development between the ages of 15 and 16, we see that there's more complaining about parents interfering with their independence. So that does, again, mom, dad, please leave me alone. I want to do this. You see this a little bit of defiant behavior. That doesn't mean that they're not still interested in moving, doing their schoolwork or being involved in the learning process. We just need to be understanding that this is part of the adolescent stage of development. And then we have our 17 and 19-year-olds. This is the late adolescent stage, which we can see that our 17, 18, 19-year-olds, they're able to make independent decisions, and they're really becoming self-reliant. And that's just part of their stage. So if they're moving forward, and you seem like they don't want you involved or around you, it's just they're just really taken in and moving forward as young adults. So, and I bring this up because parents during this time, we start to kind of pull back a little bit, and really this is a time that we need to be the most involved. But it doesn't mean that we're going to be involved like we were in elementary school, right? It's going to be a little bit different. Involvement starts to look different. So you're still communicating with the teachers, you're still communicating with school staff, you're still learning and finding out what's going on at the school. That is very important. And you're looking at grades, you're still monitoring attendance and behavior, all these things. But there is, and we're going to provide a session on adolescent development. But just be mindful as you become, you're making connections, that even though that your teenager may not want or seem to want you there, that you still have to work at making those connections. With this transition to higher grades, parents often face new challenges, including figuring out ways to best support students' success at home. Parent involvement at middle and high school takes many forms, whether it's, like I just mentioned, checking homework. We're going to be talking more about college and career choices, attending open houses, or volunteering for PTA and booster clubs. Your engagement does make a difference. By knowing what's happening in the classroom and on campus, you can help your student to focus on coursework and school activities to ensure college and career readiness. Final thoughts. Parents are the first teacher in a child's life, being there to guide them through those early milestones. Putting children in the education system places parents at a little bit of a disadvantage when they're no longer the prime educator. They no longer become the main link to learning. This is when parent-teacher relationships become crucial. The connections become really crucial. Communicating with teachers lets parents stay involved so that they can support what's happening in the classroom. But parents who are involved in their children's education and regularly connect with teachers aren't only there to make sure that homework gets done at the end of the day, they're able to encourage their child and participate in the academic program with them, showing that they're invested in their child's education. This interest leads children to perform better in school, both academically and socially. For teachers, being able to communicate with parents helps them better understand a child's strengths and their own individual personality and learning style. The more information they have about a student, the more teachers can focus on teaching and being able to address and overcome challenges along the way that may be unique to each child. Developing and improving communication between parents and teachers takes effort on all sides. Using these strategies, you can improve communication, connections to build respect and trust throughout a child's educational experience. As a parent, you are the major provider of your child's education from birth through adolescence, and you give the development of their character and mental health and help from the foundation from which they'll develop lifelong attitudes and interests. And because your home is a primary environment in where your child's potential and personality will take shape, it's important to make sure that you create a positive, open atmosphere that will not only support what goes on in the classroom, but will also instill the desire to learn. It is through your love and encouragement that your kids or your children will become motivated. First to please you, then to please themselves. This leads to self-confidence, curiosity, the enjoyment of mastering new tasks, and other healthy attitudes, all of which contribute to successful learning. And while it's true that all of the facts and skills and concepts your children learn at school are influenced by what you do at home, your child's education is equally impacted by the relationship you form with your teachers. Building an effective relationship with the teacher is a critical task, and like you, every teacher wants to achieve this goal. As with any relationship, mutual respect, the ability to listen, and lots of communications form the foundation. When parents and teachers, the schools work together, everyone benefits. Parents, teachers can provide each other with unique insight and different perspectives about the same child, culminating in a more complete understanding of that child, their abilities, strengths, and challenges. The teacher will know much more about the curriculum and the school culture, while you know more about your child's personality, tendencies, and family life. A successful parent-teacher partnership also shows a child that an entire team of adults is on their side. This is going to conclude this presentation portion of this. What I want to do right now is, do we have any questions in relation to what we have just shared with you? I'm going to give everyone the opportunity to talk, to let us know what we got going on. Let me see the chat right quick, if you'll bear with me. Okay, so here on this slide, you can see we've got Parent Corner, and how we can access this through www.risd.org/Parent Corner. And so I'm going to go right now and navigate that, because I think this is important for you to know. So let's go to the main website, the RISD website, and I'm going to hit the little R here, and we're going to go right to it. And here's Dr. Stone giving her weekly updates. And so if we scroll down, we've also got the blueprint as we move in virtual and face-to-face learning. We can see the Parent Corner right here. Parent Corner, when we click on it, it'll open up. This we can scroll with, we can actually navigate the menu this way. We have some digital resources here, tools and resources for you. We have Google Classroom, Seesaw, Zoom, and I want you to know we're going to go to a part of the Parent Corner, Parent University tab, where you're actually we have a video that actually is a session on these wonderful tools. So we'll go to Parent University, and if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see a little overview. We've got dates, times, some more information. You'll see the English and Spanish videos, and you'll see here that we have the Parent University English and Spanish video that that presents on understanding virtual learning platforms. We also have one on Focus, which will be loaded here in the next day. So really, really good place to go to get some additional resources. We also have the Parent Resources tab, which will give you access to the RISD mobile app, which you can download, which we recommend that all our families have. And we have enrollment and registration information. We also have child nutrition information, health services information, and information on after-school programs. So please, at your leisure, take some time to get to know our district website, visit Parent Corner, visit your child's school's website as well, to find out what they have going, what they've got going in there. And so at this time, I just want to thank everyone for taking the time to join us this evening. We appreciate you taking time again from your busy schedule to learn some strategies, some tips on how we can sustain and strengthen home to school connections. So thank you so much for, again, I can't thank y'all enough because I know y'all are very, very busy, but y'all are taking the time to be with us. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening, and we will see you soon at our next Parent University session. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.